Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we look at number 14 on the top 100 NFL players of 2023. Trent Williams, offensive tackle for the 49ers. And a player who, look, do we call him a gorilla? Do we call him a beast? Do we call him a gorilla? Do we call him a tank? A gorilla? I mean, what can you call this guy? I mean, he is the epitome of, he's like a freight train. And he's a player that I've gained a real liking for over the last few years, especially having seen him on this list. And it's because first and foremost, he's the ageless wonder. He looks younger every single year. He's cool, calm, and collected as far as, you know, hearing him speak. It's got a very recognizable voice, tone of voice. I love it. I love the fact that he's such a fucking beast out there, such a massive guy, yet, you know, able to articulate his words and speak with such a soft tone. I mean, how can you not love that shit, right? Unless he's on your opposing team. But in this case, he's on the 49ers. I can't wait to see his video. I know it's going to be filled with just ridiculous strength mixed with tenacity. I know we're going to see, you know, some just absolute dominance, crazy strength, and all the rest of it. But first, let's have a look at his Wikipedia page. I want to see what kind of deal he's on. I feel like he might have secured another bag, maybe 2 years. But all of that and more will be revealed. Let's get into it. Not to be confused with Treat Williams, the American actor. Trent Williams is 35 years of age, July 19th, 1988, 6'5", 320 pounds. That's 145 kg for anyone wondering. You get a couple of meals in him, he'd reach 100. He'd be 150 kilograms. And when you see the way he moves at that size, you're going to be blown away, if you haven't been already. Got picked up in the first round of the 2010 draft, pick number 4. Played college football at Oklahoma from 2006 to 2009. Picked up by Washington, played there from 2010 to 2019, a Hall of Fame career. Then he goes to the San Francisco 49ers, and he's been there since 2020. And it seems as if he's really come into his own. I mean, he's a 10-time Pro Bowler, 2012 to 2018, and then 2020 to 2022. But when you become a first-team All-Pro selection, you know you're up there with the best. In fact, you are the best in your position. And he's received that honour in both 2021 and 2022. He ran, back in the day, a 4.88 second 40-yard dash, 34.5 inches on the vertical jump, which is absolutely ridiculous. Can you imagine him dunking? I mean, at 6'5", jumping 35 inches, he could dunk. And the only thing I can visualize is that backboard just breaking into a million smithereens. Just like Shaq back in the day. Either way, 9'5" on the broad jump. He's not going to be a long jumper. And 23 reps on the bench, which is, I'm going to say, underwhelming. I've said that every single year, and it hits me every single time. So, he was traded to the 49ers March 23rd, 2021, prior to the 2021 season. He signed a 6-year, yeah, that's right, 6-year, $138 million contract, making him the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL. His contract includes $55 million guaranteed and a signing bonus of $30 million. Not a bad wee bonus. January 29th, 2023, he was ejected during the NFC Championship for violently slamming Philadelphia Eagles safety Kevon Wallace after a scuffle between both teams. And for anyone wondering, Wallace was ejected as well. And this might be an interesting watch for some of you guys. Williams is the subject of a documentary called Silverback, which debuted in December 2021 and covered his comeback from a life-threatening sarcoma on his scalp. Right guys, have you heard enough? I certainly have. Let's get into the action.
Who do you think's the #1 player in the NFL right now?
I say Trent Williams.
You're not going to move him.
He is truly the best.
You are going backwards.
NFL player that I've honestly seen for size, speed, and swagger.
The best player in the league, by far.
He needs to be #1. Trent Williams needs to be #1. I
love Trent Williams, and I just got goosebumps again. Because to hear these big guys, especially the big guys who recognize big, you know, they recognize not just being big, but having some pretty God-given attributes as far as being able to move that body effectively.
Eye on that hill.
Yeah. Consistent.
What do you say? Hey, be special. Be special. Right on your back, all right?
For you, that is special.
The best offensive tackle in the game, been the best since he came in the league.
He's violent, he's sudden, he can handle speed
rushes,
power rushes, he can mow people off the ball in the run game. He's a complete left tackle.
Oh, bro! Okay, this is not the run that I have seen, the one that really comes to mind. Look, he's literally turned away from him. He doesn't want a bar of it. He does not want a bar of it. Look at that. Juice. Okay, you got, okay, all right. Wow. Call him a fullback. But you've got Williams up front, Jusic behind, and McCaffrey behind that.
Trent Williams gets out there and leads
and that's what happens.
He blocks people longer and better than everybody.
He's not just like a cookie-cutter offensive lineman. You know, he has a lot of his own finesse, his own technique to the game. I think he's the best O-lineman in the league right now.
If you want to look at the epitome of the best offensive tackle, you could throw on any game.
Trent Williams come across.
Oh, damn, I tell you what, 42 did a fucking good job. But I'm sorry. It doesn't matter who you are. You're never going to dominate Trent Williams.
Wow.
Or it got to be like...
Honestly, like, just Christian McCaffrey coming to the 49ers, running behind that guy. What a pleasure. What's the word? There is a word. A luxury. What a luxury that is.
330 and move like butter. His run game, bro, he got sweet feet,
hey!
But his hands are on point.
His hands are as good as anybody's. He's always balanced. And then you add 14 years of experience on top of that, so he's seen it all.
Absolutely.
One of the best to ever do it is like his feet. He's quick.
Man, bro, this is incredible. This is incredible insight from his fellow players, right? All these big guys, all these linemen, just giving him praise because they can't do what he does.
Off the ball.
It's amazing.
Just a great player. You can't even put it into words, I feel like.
Trent Williams allowed just 1 sack in 2022.
It's explosive, isn't it? Look, it's just a one-on-one battle, right?
Just a great
Just
player.
another one.
You can't even put
But
it into
that's
words,
so explosive. He's having to react to every single thing that his opposing man's doing, and he's doing it really well.
Trent Williams allowed just 1 sack in 2022 and has been the standard at left tackle for over a decade.
So fast, so strong, so athletic.
Honestly, Tristan Wirfs is the next Trent Williams. And I think it was God's plan. They've got the same first letter of their first name. They've got the same first letter of their last name. Tristan Wirfs is the next Trent Williams. Not a doubt in my mind.
Athletic.
Still the best, man. Like, they want that game film of I beat Trent. But Trent is just one to never let it happen. And I'm not saying that he's perfect, but he's damn near close.
Obviously, just a guy getting times like.
Well, look, no one's perfect.
Some of the stuff you got to be careful when you're watching film on Trent because you can't mimic, some of those things that he does.
Most guys, you beat their hands, you're probably gonna win.
just a little push. You know what I mean? It just puts him off completely, and that's Micah Parsons.
In the rush, if you beat his hands, he's just replacing them.
There's few tackles.
If you beat his hands, he's just replacing them. That is a great way to put it.
Athleticism that can do the stuff that he does in the pass game and in the run.
And that's what we saw before, right? That is literally explaining exactly what we saw. Beating his hands time and time again, but Trent Williams just replacing them, literally. Oh.
Again, consistently, he's in a debate for one of the greatest of all time.
Man, tell you what, guys, that was enjoyable. And what's going to be even more enjoyable for me is to place Trent Williams on a rugby team. If he was to indeed play the great game that is rugby union, where would he suit up? Number 8, not a doubt in my mind. I think you'd waste his athletic ability being a prop. I feel like he's just that little bit too tall to be a prop, although if you had, 3 guys along the front of the scrum at 6'5", maybe it would work. Can you imagine coming up against 3 Trent Williamses? That's 450 kilograms, and a pack of 8 athletes in a scrum is normally no more than 900. Okay? That's 3 of 8. You've still got 5 more guys behind you. So that scrum, if you had Trent Williams, if you had a couple of Trent, even just two Trent Williamses in the position of prop, that's 300 kg. I mean, that's going to be in 1,000. That's going to be a ton. That's going to be a 1-ton scrum. And I don't even know if that's ever happened before. But you get a whole bunch of these American footballers coming in and packing down a scrum with the size and the strength and the weight and the athletic ability they have. That's going to be a 1-ton scrum every single day of the week. But I'm not going to put him in at prop. I'm going to put him in at number 8. Can you imagine the force, locking down the back of a scrum? You've got the 3 front rowers, you've got 4 in the second row, and then you've got 1 behind, anchoring that scrum, pushing, that last sort of oomph behind the scrum as they pack down and go against the opposition. I think Trent Williams would he'd perform really well in that position. And also, and that same action that we saw just there of him peeling off to the left or right, and going downfield and initiating tackles, that exact run, that exact, path would be the path that he takes off of the back of a scrum. So he's at the back of the scrum, the ball gets fed in by the halfback. If that play's made for him to pick up that ball as it comes through and run to the left or right, it's going to be the exact same motion, the exact same path. And I'd love nothing more than to see Trent Williams pick up that ball from the back of a scrum. I'm going to say roll out to the right and just bulldoze some cunts. Wouldn't you? I mean, on defense, he's got it in spades. He's got enough speed. He would have to get down and up, down and up, down and up many, many times. He wouldn't have any oxygen on the sideline, so he'd have to rely on his motor. But I mean, look, dreams are free. Put him in at running back, honestly. Put the motherfucker in at running back. Just a couple of times. 5 yards out. Why wouldn't you? Either way, those are my thoughts and my thoughts alone. I hope you've enjoyed. In the next one, we look at Devontae Adams, number 13 on the list. Let's do it.